Right guys, it's rainy, it's cold, it's miserable, so there's only one thing for it, working on the Mondeo. So welcome back to the channel. Alright boys and girls, it's miserable, it's been pouring down, it's been not very inviting weather, and I haven't been feeling so great, so got a few things done. Let's catch you up. Turbo back on. Got it run up to temperature. It's hot now. Best thing for it, my little fix on the leak worked, so done. So I moved on to the EGT to can box. Now I put it in a little bag here because I'm probably going to get caught up by the rain, but basically I've wired those in, so I need to wire the other side, and that goes around the back into power and also into can, into the ECU. But yeah, my major win of the time since you saw me last is that leak. I thought that was going to stop me for a while. It got worse and worse the more I messed with it, and then I figured it out, figured exactly what it is. That's done. So basically this is all in place now. I'm not going to move anything from here. I'm going to put me a turbo blanket on. I'm going to start putting some heat shielding on here and here, and then this week and the next couple of days the boost pipes are going to be finished there and there, so I need to put a bead on that one, and this one needs the coupler. Then I can start finding homes for catch can and stuff. Yeah, my aim would ideally, I don't really even want to manifest it, but I don't even want to say it in case I don't get it, I should say. My ideal end of this video would be to go for a drive in this thing. So I've got to put as much stuff on here that needs to be like the EGT stuff. Got to do that. Flex fuel stuff's on the way. I don't necessarily have to do that for a drive. I need to put anything that's basically going to be behind firewall covering, because I need to get that on. So I need to sort out this side where the pipes are coming down. Need to get the can and stuff up again, and run that all around here. Then join on the piece that's on this side, put that up, and then the piece that goes on the head and underneath, and then we should be good. Most important thing probably is the boost pipes, but where there's no clamp on this one, I can always just stick a Jubilee, and I can always just stick a Jubilee on that one. Even though there's no bead, it's not going to hold any boost, but it'll get me on for a drive and stuff, and that's kind of what I want to do. I want to make sure the clutch is working and stuff like that, although it feels great. But yeah, I guess let me figure out what we're going to attack next, and I'll bring you in and we'll have a look. Right guys, so it's another day. It's freezing cold again, but we've got some sunny skies, so I've been out here messing about. Had the fabricator in at the moment. As you can see, there's some stuff there. So what he's done is he is now marking up that clamp, as you can see. Got it marked up. He's popped off to go get some stuff to weld, and then he's also going to take that part back to the workshop to put a bead on his bead roller. So that's the intake part going to be finished. Intake stuff going to be finished today. So that is awesome. What I need to do is I need to concentrate on getting the EGT stuff done, because it's the last thing that's going to run behind all the heat shielding. So what I want to do is I want to mock up all of that, because what I've got to my plan is to get power wires going along that way to the fuse box, and then can wires I want to bring them this way and around to the ECU, so it's a shorter run. That's my plan, because I don't really, I mean, I could probably hack into the can somewhere along with the clutch pedal or something, but I don't really want to mess around with the loom up that side, because if I start fucking about and something goes wrong there when it's all covered up and everything's hot, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. So I'd rather come out of it, come around, come to the ECU plug and play box, and have another plug coming out, probably the same size as there, so it'll come around and then loop back, and then have a 2-pin plug in there, so I can just unplug it and eliminate it if need be. But what it does mean is it means that out the little plug that comes out the EGT sensors, there's going to be power going one way and it can go in the other, so it's going to be a pain to make it look nice and to set up right. Most of it will be hidden, you won't see it, but it's just my little bit of OCD. I like to make it kind of neat. So yeah, I'm going to do some tidying up, figure out some stuff, let the fabricator come back, do his thing, and then once he's finished, we'll catch up and I'll start on bits. I mean, I can even start doing things like putting the cover, you know, the blanket onto the turbo, start wrapping the wires for the final time, you know, as they're going to stay, and then start measuring up all the stuff. The heat shielding for the side of the head, I've got to do all that. So I've got quite a few things to do. Unfortunately, my goals of going for a drive in this thing in this video are slowly slipping away, but this is how it goes. The final bits is always the most painful bits because you've got to make it right. But let's crack on. Right, guys, so pulling you in here because the fabricator has pretty much finished the stuff. So if we look down there, move some of these wires out of the way, you can see there's the clamp on the hose, on the boost pipe on the inlet. Now, did have a little issue with the cold side, basically, so it's almost in, almost there. It's got a bead on it now, so that's cool. But basically, this side over here, I don't even know if you guys can see it. It's only got one O-ring on there. It's supposed to be two. So we have a look up here. I did grease this O-ring, but let's see if I can find it. There's actually it got caught and there's a little splice in it. I think it's there. So getting a spare one of those from the fabricator because he actually has a couple, and then I could start putting that on, clamp on, boost pipe sorted. But with that side being the only one that I need to work on, I can actually start messing about here. So I might start like working out a couple of things, but let's see how it goes. Right guys, so just looking for things to do, and I've fitted my Funk turbo blanket, so that looks pretty good. Fits quite nicely. There's a bit of an arse to tuck underneath there. There's a little bit of a gap underneath there between the mount and the actual blanket. It's a bit tight, but yeah, I think it's looking good. Alright guys, so once again it is fucking miserable outside, so yeah, one day I was sitting at the back there looking miserable for itself. You can see it all raining off, so not much I can do at the moment, but I have done a couple of things. So got myself two of the O-rings. I actually did have the fabricator has some spares, and I've also let's see if I can grab it here. So you can't really see it, but basically I've made the wiring for the EGT sensors. So yeah, I need to solder into the ECU. I've just got to plug in it and stuff, got to just make sure it's all right. Got to do that, put the O-ring on, and then I can start putting the firewall heat shielding on. Put the firewall heat shielding on, and then what else is next? As soon as that's on, I can actually put the trays on underneath. Just thinking out loud, yeah. Put the trays on underneath. Potentially lower it on the ground, and that could potentially be first drive, or at least be then at the mercy, well, not at the mercy of the weather. I could roll it in and out, close the garage up a bit like I usually do. So that might be something to do. I'm going to do some thoughts. I'm going to wait till it slows down with the rain here, because I need to get out there. I need to do some stuff. I need to get rolling, basically. It's stressing me out a bit not having it on the road yet. So see you hopefully soon. Right guys, so I've just brought you in to catch it up. I've got a moment of where it's just only sort of slightly drizzling on me and not pissing on me, so I've been in, out, and I have run the wiring for the EGT box, which is under there, and the power wiring goes along to the fuse box, which is perfect. I have also added the wires to the ECU, one is for the flex fuel sensor. I need to get a connector for that, and then the other one is for, oh, come on, get out of there, it's for that, put it into there. So that runs straight to the ECU wire rather than hacking up my loom. So basically I'm going to pull that ECU back inside because I don't need it right now, tuck this wiring away. As you can see, I've started to sort of eyeball where things are going to lie. I think my catch can's going to be sitting there with the heat shielding around it, but now I've got to a point where, I mean, I don't even need to connect the EGT sensors or the flex fuel yet. That's not needed for that first drive, test drive, make sure everything's going right. So what I need to do is I need to start sticking in at least that part of the heat shielding, and then I can start working on the heat shielding here, and then turn the heat shielding on the head, and then it's done. And then I can start putting the front end back on this thing. But unfortunately time is running away from me, so I don't think in this video we're going to get a test drive, and I'm pretty pissed off, to be honest. I wanted it to work because I wanted to get this thing out and going. I've got deadlines looming, I've got things to do, and I've got goals to meet. So I'm going to try and do a little bit more of this, and then I'll bring you in. I might even delay the video by one day and go out on a Saturday instead of a Friday, just to get some more stuff into maybe even start throwing the front end on in this video. I don't know, just depends about the weather. I mean, this weather this time of year in the UK is rubbish. So let me crack on, and here we go then. So here's what I've been up to. Decided where I'm going to mount this bad boy, so he's going to live there. I'm going to get some 45-degree connectors for this and rerun these hoses in black, like the bottom one. Got the rear heat shields up and going, so the two pieces there and there. Got this one all tightened in. That part is good. There is, for this one, if you can see down there, it's actually touching there. That's purely because I haven't put the bolts in the bottom. Need to do that, mark the hole, blah 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 blah. Get that sorted out. Then, so what else is next? Yeah, get the heat shielding done here, and then slightly under the turbo, and then come around here because I don't want any heat on the oil catch can. And then the final bit will be a piece along here that goes under and tucks into the back of this piece to just protect all of the water stuff. And then once I've done that boost pump, once it's not pouring down on my head, hopefully tomorrow, that'll be done, that'll be done, that'll be done, that'll be done, and we can start doing literal final fitments. Now, I am going to delay the going out of this video by a day, just so I can have tomorrow morning to do the last few things, and I'll bring you in and we'll just have a catch up. But unfortunately, there's not going to be a drive in this video. It's just coming too late in the day, too late in the week, however you want to call it. I want to get the catch can sorted before I go for a drive, although it's not needed, let's put it that way. I'd like to get it just done. So that's done and sort of fitted, bolted properly to the whatever this thing is, the chassis or the part of the car. Get it all on basically. Yeah, I mean, I can possibly even now start getting the covers on top of the engine, just little bits, working towards getting this thing into a point where I can drive it. So that's my goal, that's my goal, that's my goal. That's where we're going to get to. Hopefully in the next video we're going to have this thing pretty much buttoned up and ready for a drive. I'm going to definitely be waiting for, as I said, a couple of parts, a couple of bits and pieces here and there that I need to do, but the main brunt of stuff now is complete. So I am over the moon with this. It's not going to be long now. It's really not going to be long until the first drive. I can almost smell it. It's going to be a couple of days for me, but for you it's probably going to be a week, because I really don't think I'm going to catch it tomorrow. And here comes the rain again, so yeah, time to close up and run back inside. Right guys, so unfortunately I've had one of those days that is literally every single job has kicked my ass. As you can see, it's almost dark. I am filthy. I've got tools everywhere. I've achieved two things, I think. A minuscule amount of what I wanted to. So let's get you in. So basically, managed to get that boost pipe sorted out, so that's in. I had to drop off the whole intercooler and put it back again because I didn't want to catch that O-ring. And then I got my arse kicked by the lower bolts on these two things. So both lower bolts stripped out, the nutserts that I used, had to replace those. That nutsert is fine, that one's stripped. So I've changed the way this thing's sort of together. As you can see now, I've got some nuts coming from the top going down. I am going to probably trim these off the bottom, but this is, you know, that's very final finishing stuff. The one thing I'm a bit pissed off about is obviously my heat shielding's got holes in it now a bit further back. You can't see it unless you really look, but I'm a bit pedantic like that. But yeah, this all means that this video is definitely going out a couple of days late, so don't shoot me. I am working on it and I'm fucking pissed off with what's happened today. So couple more things, tidy up, and I'm going inside. Right guys, so it's the next day and it's actually a beautiful day today. It's still a bit cold though, but I'm in the back of the car because what I'm going to do is bring you in here for a second. I've got to now, I know that is the return from this tank. Now I've got to determine which one of these two, because I'm stupid enough, I didn't bloody mark it, which one's the return to the main tank. And then I'm going to put my flex fuel sensor on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get under the car to the back end of the bulkheads, undo those, drop it down, test one of these two, see which one's the pump coming from and which one's going to it, and then come up here and I've got to figure out what I'm going to do. So I'm thinking that flex fuel sensor has no sort of mounting hardware or anything. So to mount it on the side here, which is what I was imagining, might be pretty hard. It might just kind of have to connect in here and float there, which is not ideal. Well, let me get underneath, do some spraying, get full of fuel, and we'll see from there. Okay guys, so got the fuel sensor out with the little converters on, and as thought, it's this end one here, that's the return. So what I'm thinking is, because this thing's got no way to mount it, I mean, the only thing it does have is this sort of like recessed piece of plastic here that you could maybe hit the cable tie along or something. But what I'm thinking is female to female connector onto the bulkhead fitting, and then a 90-degree off of that end to go up into there. So that should bring it about there. 90 probably won't work, so it'll have to be like a 45 maybe, or maybe a 90 would work. Just have a little bit more of a bend than that. But I think I'll get those ordered. Check through my stash, make sure I haven't got anything, make sure I haven't got any doubles. Yeah, that's the plan for that. Guys, so unfortunately I have completely run out of time, had a bit of an emergency with the girls I had to sort out. Just laugh getting in the way. What I have started to do is make a funny shaped little bracket for the catch can. Basically it's going to sit about there, have two bolts going in, and it's going to hold the catch can to the side. But yeah, that's as far as I got. Drilled 2 holes, and then I get called away. But done a couple of things this week, really haven't had the greatest amount of success. Unfortunately, as I said the other day, everything fought me on those heat shields, but they're in place now and I'm not going to mess about with them anymore. So they're there. Catch can moved, that's going to be done next. All the piping done, boost pipes are fully on, fully clamped. Yeah, I'm just looking for positives. Measured the well, eyeballed where the fuel thing's going to be, the flex fuel sensor. So that's another thing to do. I've got to run a wire all the way to the ECU from the flex fuel sensor, so that's going to be fun too. Yeah, never-ending list of things, but got to get them done. So I'm going to wrap this up here, and get the video out, and then carry on some more, and hopefully in the next video we can get this thing on the floor. Now I do need to start it again and check again for no coolant leaks or anything like that, because I'm a bit paranoid about it, because there's still a bit of coolant around the back that keeps dripping, but I'm not sure if that's just what's collected on top of the transfer case, because it's got a bunch of like holes in it for cooling. I'm wondering if it's caught in between the fins. But anyway, enough of me waffling. Cap it there, and yeah, once again, thanks for bearing with me, thanks for joining me on this this journey to get this thing running, and yeah, see you in the next one. Drop a like, subscribe, share it around, hit me up with a comment, and I'll see you next week.